on over to our presenters.
Everybody. Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa. I'm the Director of ET and Rehab Services here at LOTA. Can you hear me okay?
You can take your mask off to talk if you need to.
Okay. So before we get into the device administration portion, I'm just going to give you an overview of LOTA, our services, different things we provide. So you have that information. I will be following up with Jennifer and sending digital brochures of everything, so you can get copies of all of that, just so you can kind of reference and share as you need. All of this information, most of it is also on our website. And then if anyone wants any physical brochure, we have plenty of those. I'd be happy to get them over to you, either through Jennifer or through some other means. If you want to reach out to me, that would be great. So I'll go ahead and get started. LOTA is the AT. We are. Are we good? Okay. We provide AT for the whole state of Louisiana. So we're federally funded, and we're under the ACT program. So we provide several different services. We've been the AT provider for Louisiana for, I think, going on 29 years. So I've only been here about 6 months. So it's been really great to kind of learn about all the services and programs that they offer to the people of Louisiana. So our center is based here in Baton Rouge, but we do service the entire state. So people are welcome to come here to the demonstration center, meet with us, but also with whatever they need, we will also go out to them. So whether it is in their home, in their therapeutic setting, in a school setting, we'll go out to them wherever they are in the state. They just have to give us a call, and we will make it out to them. So they're not required to come here, and they're not limited to they can access our resources even if we're not kind of located in their city. So kind of going through our different assistive technology programs, our main ones are device administration, device loan, and our reuse program. Those are some of our core programs. So device demonstration is essentially what we're going to be doing here today. So it's a guided walkthrough of the devices, and also allows an AT user to really get some hands-on experience with that device. The goal of this program is to help someone make a qualified decision about what AT they need, what's going to work for them, because it can be really hard if you're just like looking online or kind of getting recommendations, but not really able to kind of get hands-on experience. It can be really hard to know, is this really going to work for me? Is this, it's going to work in my environment? What are the pros and cons of this compared to others? So that can be really helpful. And so today you're going to get kind of a variety of different AT, but depending on what someone's coming to us for, then we may really focus in. So if it's for vision or mobility, we'll really focus in on here are the ATs that we have that we can kind of demonstrate to you based on what your functional limitations are, what your goals are. So we really kind of take a lot of that assessment component to help guide us in that device demonstration and picking out the right kind of things to try with them. And so once we kind of get through that device demonstration portion, we typically will move into a device loan. So even though a device demonstration can be great, kind of being able to use something when someone's like right next to you, kind of coaching through, can be a lot different than if you're kind of like doing it on your own. So we want to give people the opportunity to really take some ownership of being able to really learn the device and really actively use it in their environment without to really see if it's going to work for them. So our device loans are usually around 35 days with the option to renew 3 times. So you can have a device loan for up to 90 days. And there's a small cost associated with it depending on the cost of the device, just to cover ourselves for any damage to the device and kind of maintaining devices. And so we'll provide training, technical assistance with that. But then that really allows someone to, if I need this device in school, I can take it to school with me, or if it's multiple environments, I get to try it in all of these different environments and see if it really works. And if it doesn't, why not? Because then that helps us guide us to know, well, what would work better? what are you not liking? Can we find a device that is better suited towards your needs based on kind of the feedback you're giving us? So that's kind of, so that's our device loan program. And then we also have our reuse program, which is, we refer to it as AT Marketplace, and that can be accessed through our website. So this allows assistive technology users to access assistive technology for free or for discounted prices. So we get devices in our inventory, either it may be devices that we've had that we've used for demonstrations or devices that have been donated to us. So gently used devices that we're then able to give back out to the community for a very low cost or for free. So typically the only cost that may be associated with that is shipping, although we do a lot of deliveries as well, just depending on what the item is, and especially if we need to demonstrate that item to the user, we want to make sure that we're there to be able to deliver it and show them how to work it and make sure that they understand how to access everything that they need to with that device. So that's our reuse program, and then we have a couple of special programs. So right now we have our Stand Up Louisiana program. And I know I feel like this is a lot of information. I will be sending flyers, and I usually have like a PowerPoint with things you can read, but I'll be sending brochures for you to, have all that with you. But we have our Stand Up Louisiana program. So that is geared towards any individual living with paralysis, and the goal is to give them access to standing frames. And this applies to all age ranges. So it's pediatrics to adults. We actually have a pediatric standing frame that we'll be showing you later in the device demonstration. So that's something that we've been trying to get people access to those, and then kind of once they're able to get try and loan that device out, then helping them get acquisition through our financial loan programs or through insurance, depending, since many times insurance won't cover those devices. So I'm going to go into some of our financial programs right now. So we have 3 different programs that we currently have to help people gain access to different assistive technology. Sorry. So we have our Regions Cash Loan. So this one is, like it says, it's through Regions, and it's you can apply for up to $50,000, and so you can use that for assistive technology, vehicle modifications, or home modifications. So we do get this one typically, since it does go to that higher amount, we get a lot of applications for those vehicle modifications, and to make vans more accessible, or to get a van that's already modified to be adaptable to wheelchairs, or also if they're driving using their hands, those different types of features. So that's something that we have. I think that's everything about the Regions Cash Loan. And then we also have our revolving loan fund. So this is our line of credit. It allows AT users to establish a line of credit for up to $10,000. And it works very similarly to like a credit card, where you get approved for a certain amount and you can use that amount, you pay it back, and then you continue having access to that same amount. So that's a really great feature, is that no matter, once they're approved for a certain amount, then if they don't need to use all of the amount that they're approved for, then they can save it for a later AT purchase down the line, or if something comes up that they need, then they're already approved. They already have, that, funding source, and they can just purchase those devices. The revolving loan fund, I believe it's up to $10,000. And there's no credit pulled for that one, but it does offer some credit building opportunities. I'm sure most of you know that a lot of times people with disabilities can be on a fixed income or have limited income or limited credit based on the ability to get to and from work, or and those types of things. And so this helps build that credit. So we are reporting positive payments. So even though we didn't pull credit to determine their eligibility, we're able to provide that service. And it also involves a financial literacy component as well, to kind of assist in those areas as well. And then Lastly, we have our AT lease program. So we have our traditional lease, and then we also have a lease that is a lease to own. So the traditional lease is 6-month lease periods, and then you can kind of unlimited renewals on those lease periods. And then the lease to own is just like what it sounds. There's no interest. We typically a lease period is anywhere between 6 and 24 months. And you just break up the payments for the amount, and they're able to kind of break that payment up over several months instead of having to kind of do a lump sum at the beginning. So that's our ATs program. And then I also wanted to point out that we are always looking for different local organizations to partner with to do AT centers. So keep that in mind as you're kind of looking at these different devices during the device demonstration. We are always trying to increase the number of people that get access to these different devices. So for example, our standing frame would be something that we could, bring to a therapeutic setting and have placed there where different therapists could, try it with different clients and kind of see if different things are working. And this can apply to multiple different AT devices. So that would just be kind of a corporate agreement between LATAN and yourselves, and that would allow just multiple people to try different things and get them opportunity to get those numbers, kind of be able to get those devices in and be able to try them. So I think that's everything that I had. Oh, and we also do, we also do some assessments as well with some of the school systems. So there are some charter schools that maybe are not, don't have a contract with maybe the school AT program. And so we're able to kind of help with some of those assessments as well. And also LATAN can be really valuable, some of those transition services. So if you have a student that maybe had AT that was covered under the school, but they're leaving that school system and they need access to kind of their own devices, then we can kind of help bridge some of those, bridge that gap, as well as, I know a lot of times AT in school can't necessarily go home with the student. So if there's something that would be valuable for a student to have in both locations, then we can also kind of help kind of bridge that as well, giving families different access to, they can do some loans at home, or also the financial programs to help them be able to purchase some of those items so they have the AT that they need in their home setting as well. So does anyone have any questions about any of our programs or anything that I talked about?
If anybody has any questions, if you can type it in on the chat, I'm going to be looking out for that, and we'll relay any questions specific that you have at this point in time.
And if there are questions, if we want to, we could probably shift over to Jay, and then as they're coming in, we can go through them after if that works. Okay. So Jay is gonna go ahead and get started. He's gonna do our device demonstration. So he'll be, oh yes, there he is. He's gonna be doing our device demonstration and showing you different devices and what we have, and so you'll be following him around now.
Hi guys, my name is Jay. I am the AT Solution Specialist here at LATAN. I'm the one who manages all the technology here, as well as keeps it updated and everything flowing in a nice, healthy manner. I'm the one who helps move old technology out of the center and move new technology in, as well as keep our current technology updated on all of the software and compatible with all the new devices coming out. So with that being said, I also am the one that does most of the demonstrations as well as the tour like we're about to do now. So if there's any technical needs when it comes to assistive technology, I'm the guy for that. But with that being said, we can go ahead and get started. Let's see, where do we want to start at? Let's go ahead and start right here because there's only one device up here I want to show you, and then we can move to the stuff up here. So The devices I'm going to be focusing on today, we have a number of different devices that can help out people in a number of different ways. But mostly going to be focusing on devices that can help out in situations such as like school setting or a pediatric rehabilitation setting or something like within that scope of range. So with that being said, this first device I'm going to show you right here, this is called the Smart Reader. The Smart Reader is an OCR device. OCR stands for optical character reading. What it does is it uses this camera, this foldable camera right here. You put your text under it, and with a press of a button, it will read the text out loud for you.
Processing.
And it's going to display the words on the screen over here.
3. Smart Reader. Full page reader that makes reading enjoyable
You
again.
can make it read
Easy
faster,
to use.
louder.
Smart Reader boasts a faster, lightweight, portable, sleek design with a user-friendly console. Position your document and press a button. In seconds, Smart Reader begins reading aloud. Connect Smart Reader to a TV or monitor and enlarge your captured image to follow along as it reads. For a true portable experience.
So yeah, we're not gonna read the whole thing, but you get the idea. So essentially this OCR device would come in handy for individuals who are have dyslexia or some form of low vision, and they're struggling to read on a consistent basis at the home. We're gonna get into some more OCR devices as we go through this tour, but this is an OCR device that is specifically made to be stationary. It does have some portable capabilities, but as you can see, it is a little bulky, so I would definitely recommend this one stay like on a desk somewhere. And you take it home, take your homework home, and you put this under it and scan it, and then boom, you don't have to sit there and try to read it for however long it will take you. You just have it read this for you. This device right here, this next device that unfortunately I can't show you the full capabilities of because the iPad is not functioning in it. But this is the double robot. The technical term for it would be a telepresence robot. You control this with either a laptop application, a phone application, iPad application, or what have you. As long as the application can connect to the internet, it will connect directly to this device, and you can use the application to remotely maneuver this device around a school setting, a doctor setting, rehabilitation setting, whatever, while the patient is at home, comfortable in their bed or wherever they are. You can communicate through this, like how you would basically FaceTime on wheels. So this is the double robot. The technical term for it would be a telepresence robot. So telephone presence as in you're actually there. So now we're gonna go over on this side.
There's a quick question of how long have you been helping people meet their needs?
Me? I will be, this will be my 2-year anniversary in September.
How long has LATAN been around doing what y'all do?
LATAN has been around since 1992. More questions? Okay. Okay, couple of devices up here. This cool guy right here. This is the Echo Live Scribe pen. Smart pen. Everything is smart these days, right? So this is a smart pen. So the way it works, you get these handy dandy notebooks. This is a large one. This is a standard one. This is a flip notepad. You can get these notepads in a number of different form factors, whichever one fits your needs at the moment. But if you can imagine going to like a college class, high school class, getting into a lecture, let's say you have a hard time hearing or a hard time following as the professor or teacher speaks. You're also trying to take notes and you're having a hard time keeping up with it. Something like this will come in handy because what this does not only lets you write as you take notes, let's say you're missing something. Down here, you have a bunch of controls. All you have to do is tap the pen on the record button down here. And just like that, you hold the pen up to the lecture or wherever the sound source is coming from. It'll pick up on that sound. And once you're done, you got all the information that you need. The lecture's done, whatever. Hit stop. You take this notebook home for review of your notes for the test tomorrow. And oh, by the way, I also have the whole recording saved onto my pen. So all I have to do is just go back to, hello. So all I have to do is go back to my, just like that. So just like that, the recording will be saved on the page of your notes. So whatever lecture is going on is attached to those notes. So it all correlates into whatever study session that you'll be engaging in. So that is the Live Scribe pen. This I actually used this in college myself. It was pretty useful. The next device we're going to look at is this is a reading pen. This is another OCR device. As the name states, it's pretty self-explanatory. You pop the cap off, turn it on, and you would just run it over a line of text, and it will read it for you. It also has a built-in dictionary, so if there's a word that you don't understand, it will give you a definition for it. So, like so. It's pretty low, but it has headphone jack, so that's where it becomes really useful. You can plug a headphone jack into it, so like you're sitting into a lecture, or you're sitting in a classroom, you're trying to read something as people are talking, people are around you. This is really low volume, so it won't disturb them, but you also just plug headphones into it so that only you can hear it.
What was that one called again?
The reading pen. Yeah, reading pen. It actually, I'll be honest with you guys, this is actually the old version of it. We have a newer version. It's called the C pen. So C as in cat. It's called the C pen. Unfortunately, that one is out on loan right now. Like Melissa said, we have a loan program, so people who it's out on loan right now. One person's actually test driving it right now to determine if they really want it. So once that one comes back, we'll have a more updated version. But this is the old version that is available right now. The new version is light, sleek, a lot more portable. So you can imagine that. It's called the C pen if you want to look it up. Okay. This the next device we're going to look at. This is the Amigo HD. The Amigo HD is a digital magnifier. So you can imagine, magnifying glass, but digital. Battery. So, like so. You have the ability to change the color contrast on the device, so to accommodate for any type of color blindness. Three we have on here is just white on black, black on white, and grayscale, but it has over 12 or 13 different options you can cycle between, such as white on red, blue on yellow, yellow on black, orange on black, green on black, etc. This one was out on loan before this demonstration, so we only kept it to the base ones for that person. But this one has a lot of versatility. You can accommodate for a lot of different color blindness issues. You also have your zoom, your focus button along the back side. So let's say if you need to focus in on something, you just tap the button, you just always focus in. You can always zoom in with this plus button on the right side, as well as zoom out. Cool thing about this device also is that it has a HDMI plugin. So if anyone's familiar with CCTV, this can be plugged into a monitor like a TV or a computer monitor, and it turns into a CCTV. So 2-in-1 device. With that, and you don't have to pay $2,000, $3,000 for CCTV. So moving on, this next device we got right here, we're gonna get into some computer access stuff. So this is handy dandy for people who are in school and don't have the dexterity to use a standard keyboard or mouse. This is called the Glass House. The Glass House is I guess a input device. So as you can see, the mouse is moving on the screen over there, all because I have this device on my head. With this, you're able to point and click using only head motions. You can plug in your favorite switch into this. So if you person's already familiar with flip switch, big button switch, whatever they're using. It plugs in directly into the device. I have a finger switch right here. The switch the switch control will act as your right click. So this coupled with an on-screen keyboard essentially gives you full computer access just using your head. And that's called the glass house. So glass house, but without the H, glass house. Now here we have an array of switches to accommodate for a lot of different use cases. Big button switches, flip switches, Bluetooth switches, switch interfaces that allows you to plug in multiple switches, pinch switches, proximity switches, finger switches, string switches, puff switches, and a bunch of different ones. But anyway, down here we have a few communication devices, such as this one. This is the Tobii Dynavox. Tobii creates a number of different devices, but this one is probably their bread and butter, their creme de la creme, as you say. This little guy has full windows on it. It can be used as a full keyboard, but it also comes with communication software called Communicator 5, as well as eye gaze technology. So,
That is a wow.
oh yeah. So with that being said, you are able to use this as a standard computer. You can plug a mouse and keyboard into it, but it kind of defeats the purpose of it. But it has multiple ways of input. You can touch.
Great.
So you can also use eye gaze to stare at whatever option you're trying to input. And it also has 2 switch ports on the back, so you can plug in switches to it and use it that way as well. Like I said, it has windows on it, so you're able to connect to the internet, browse the internet, browse the internet, get on Facebook, communicate with your friends, do schoolwork, all that type of stuff, all while having the multiple ways of inputting, such as touch, eye gaze, switch control, and also having a communicator on here built in. So this can be your one-stop device for communication, face-to-face, communication over the internet, as well as doing schoolwork. So this device right here, this is called the Ubi Duo. Ubi is a 2-way communication device. When it's folded down, it looks like a laptop, but then it comes off, and this is a 2-way communication device. So this works out well for people who have a hard time communicating. You can just type out what you want to say, just like on a standard keyboard. But the duo aspect of it allows someone else to grab the other side of it, so you can have a one-to-one conversation. This works out well in therapy sessions where, let's say, a person has autism and has a hard time communicating in different ways. This could be a way to kind of break through that wall, bridge that gap, depending on what that person may need. This would be a great way to kind of break down that wall and get a one-to-one communication with some individuals. And down here, these are our low-tech communication devices, such as the GoTalk, which is something like that. The GoTalk is very customizable. You can slide these little pictures out and switch them as you need. As you can see right here, this is another version of it. You're able to you can just slide a piece of paper in there and just write your word on there, or you can print out little pictographs, little emoji pictures, and put them right there on the board. They have different levels to this, so you're only seeing 25 at the moment, but you can swap between levels like so, and each level has its own 20 that you can cycle between. So 20 times 5, you have 100 different phrases that you can cycle between just with the GoTalk. This one has 12, so 5 times 12, you have 60 on this one. And this one has 32, so I'm not good at math, so anyone wants to know what 5 times 32 is, that's how much this one has.
Quick question about the Tobii Dynavox. Can you load new games with it to help a patient with speech problems? Can you load games onto it?
Yes, as long as you keep your updates on Windows healthy, and then you keep it updated to Windows 10 or whatever version of Windows that the software is designed to run on, it will run just fine. Okay. Moving on. This little device right here, this is a pretty cool one. This is called the OrCam. This is another OCR device. So the OrCam. So the OrCam is another OCR device. You are able to, instead of using the reading pen, where you have to physically go across line by line, or the smart reader where you have to have the text in a certain orientation to read. This is probably the easiest OCR device that we have to use. All you have to do is look at text, point at it, and just like that, takes a picture and begins to read.
Is a lightweight smart camera to borrow any glasses frame using our technology. It instantly and discreetly reads printed and digital text aloud from any surface, recognizes faces.
So yeah, like you said, he also recognizes faces. So just with a quick double tap, you can take a picture of like a friend, family member who you're normally around. You can save their face to the device, and whenever they walk in front of you again, it will announce, oh, Sam walked in front of me, Judy walked in front of me, Jay walked in front of me.
What's the name of that one?
OrCam. Sorry. Okay. So, last thing I'm gonna show you guys over here is the second to last one. Okay, so second last thing I'm gonna show you guys is this pocket talker. The pocket talker is a hearing amplifier. So for let's say children, teenagers who have low hearing, and a full-on hearing, customizable hearing aid is out of the question, whether it be because of cost reasons, whether it doesn't fit right, it's malfunctioning, any type of reason where they're just not using a standard hearing aid. This is a good substitute. Has a little clip that you can keep onto your belt loop, and you can just plug in a pair of headphones. The person with low hearing will be wearing these, and they would essentially just hold the mic up to whatever sound you're trying to listen to. So this is great for one-to-one communication, as well as trying to watch TV, or if you have like a constant sound source from one direction, like being in like a seminar or watching TV, something like that. This is a good substitute if you don't have a full-on hearing aid. And the last thing I'll show you guys. This is a steady hand. So let's say, for example, a person is trying to write something, but they just don't have the dexterity, or they don't have the control over their forearm, upper arm, or hand, or what have you. This is a magnetic board that you will slap, and magnetic board as well as the magnet, you will slap a pen or pencil onto, and this will help keep your hand steady as you write. It's a pretty strong magnet, so it will definitely keep your hand steady as you write to its best ability. So now I'm gonna move over here to we have some more feed stuff. This is pretty much our dedicated feed area. I'll show you guys my favorite device. This is our companion dog. Sorts out with children or people who are on the spectrum. I need a companion, someone to kind of call with at night and kind of keep them, in a good state of mind. He acts as a real dog. He also has cameras in his eyes, so if you flow, you go in front of him, let's say you walk right past him, his head will follow you, and he'll try to get your attention. He'll want to be pet. You can see he really likes to be pet. When he'll start to cry, you pump at him. So yeah, he's kind of spoiled. And this
Quick question. If we refer an out-of-town client to LATAM to rent or purchase, do they have to travel to Baton Rouge? Do you have other?
Connection succeeded.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's fine. So if they're out of town and we want to refer them, how does that work?
You can simply just give them our phone number. We'll be giving our contact information along with alongside this at the end of this presentation. You can just give us a call, shoot us an email. We have a website as well that you can contact us that way. But if they're out of town, they can come to Baton Rouge if that wants to be the preference. We have a lot more technology here that we can show them here at our demo center. But if they're unable to travel, we can come to them. Like Melissa said, we service everybody in the state. It's really no issue at all. We go to Shreveport pretty often, so you can imagine going from Baton to Shreveport. We do that pretty often. It's really no issue. So we go to New Orleans, Bastrop, Shreveport, Monroe, Alexandria, Lake Charles, Lafayette. It does not matter where you are. We will come to you to do a demonstration, drop off devices, whatever you need.
My name is Bluetooth. Please pair and connect me using the Bluetooth located on your device.
Those are Bluetooth Pal. He serves a pretty similar role as the dog over there.
Connection succeeded.
So you connect them to a device such as an iPad or a phone, and you can give this to the child who has a hard time communicating with others. You can communicate with his bear. So let's say if I were to get on FaceTime, get on a phone call with this, the sound would be coming directly through the Bluetooth bear. So it would be as if the child was talking to the bear as if talking to a screen. So he also acts as a healthy way to practice their communication. If you have a communication app like a Photo or something like that, he speaks it instead of the screen speaking it. So therefore, the child can kind of hold Bluetooth around and have them talk for them, or they can practice their communication back and forth with Bluetooth as if they were having a conversation. So,
Bye. Yes, no.
so that's the Bluetooth bear. He also if you play music, he'll sing it. So
Does he connect to speak for yourself?
yes, any type of communication app, any of them. Up here we have a bunch of computer access stuff. So a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna do all of it, but one-handed keyboard, ergonomic keyboards, eye gaze, head mouses that serve a similar role as the glass house I showed you over there. You control the mouse and keyboard with your head. Ergonomic mouses, track balls, joysticks, break apart keyboards, large print keyboards, color coordinated keyboards, as well as non-traditional ABC keyboards instead of the QWERTY format. So for children who are learning a keyboard and they're more used to ABC, we have ABC style keyboards as well. Over here, we got this. Over here we have some Switch activated toys, such as this Elmo, Mickey, and Spider-Man. Mickey sings. Elmo reads a book for you. Both of these, well, all three of these toys are Switch activated. I'm going to take it off. Okay, so all these toys up here have been modified to work with switches. They work like any type of switch as long as it has a 3.5 jack, like a headphone jack, or 3.5 auxiliary jack that all the switches are plugged into. This is by a company called Enabling Devices. You can buy toys from them direct that can be activated via switch, or you can send them their toys. In some cases, they can modify toys to be switch activated. Here we have a few simple communication devices, such as this twin talker. So you'd slap a card into the backside of this. We have it set for yes and no. So this would be an easy communication device for kids who are wanting to communicate and just only need to say one or two things to kind of get their brains moving and as they learn how to communicate. We have a 2, a 3, and a 4 style of this of the switch option. We also have some rainmakers. These are, we hold it straight up, these will vibrate and sing a little tune. So these will help calm children on the spectrum. You know, if they have an episode, they get out of character, they, you know, just aren't acting like themselves. You can get something like this, help calm them down. Similar to this fiber optic light right here, and this one right here, as well as this this thing here. I actually don't know what this thing's called, but it has a soothing humming noise, as well as the lava bubbles that flow up and down. It can help you soothing to certain people if they're upset. So a lot of these toys out there have been modified to control the switches, such as this fish around, bubble blower, this nursery rhyme singer, as well as this remote control car. Over here we have a few more rainmakers, I call them. So this one you just tap and it sings a little tune. It also works as a switch. Same for this one. This one is a vibrating that lights up. So the vibration is what they like. This is their go-to. And then this thing right here. So this will actually, like, when you press the button, the air will flow and the bubbles will flow up like it's kind of a power in there, essentially. Then over here, so I can play. These are some night lights. So for people have a hard time, children have a hard time going to bed at night. Some soothing tunes will play from this, like a lullaby, as well as they'll show stars and moons on the ceiling where it's dark. This one here is showing a little aquatic pattern, kind of like water reflecting off the light, basically. So these are cool night lights for children. And this is a theater seat for a floor setter. So this will be good for like children have a hard time moving around. People want some for like story time or eat with other kids as they go about their day. So you can feed them on this. You can roll around with a whole lot of everyone's from story time. Do whatever kids do for whatever. You can just put the kids there and have them roll around with that instead. So this is a trike, a hand trike. You can have a camera with the moves. I'm sorry, because they move around at your own pace and buckle themselves up and go at their own pace as well. So yeah, that's the gist of what's over here.
No, I don't want.
And let them say that this is our pediatric thing. We have it next to our standard, adult standard. We're side comparisons, so too many standards. So like Melissa said, we have a program called Stand Up Louisiana, where we do our best to put standards into the hands of the folks who need them, whether it be to stand up for medical reasons or just to stand up and have a conversation with somebody. They've been in a wheelchair for so long and they just want to stand up again. We have a Stand Up Louisiana program, which can put standards in people's hands for up to 90 days to give them a good try before they have to make a decision whether they want to purchase it or to just not purchase it. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Like I said, we have a lot more stuff here. Like for example, this is our home automation area. Everything over here is voice activated. I have it turned off right now because I wasn't planning on showing it, but we have a lot more stuff just to show this, for example. We have a lot more stuff back there in our dining area that can, like our OB device, which will feed people for them with the pressing button. So yeah, this is our demo center. If you guys are interested, come by and we'll give you another more in-depth tour.
I have a question. I work for AT in the pediatrical system, and a lot of our stuff, we have it in bulk, the same stuff over, and y'all have a bigger variety of this high-tech stuff. And so, like, if I get a system, if that's something that we're interested in, then we have to requisition it, and then you're just like, oh my God, I hope this works. So like, do y'all ever go into the school system and like let the kid try it at school?
Yeah,
I don't know, how do y'all work with, the school system?
that would also be a really good option, like for that corporate, oh yeah, you weren't here, we also will offer some like corporate device loans, so if you as like your AT organization in the school wanted to, I wanna try this before we purchase it for our school or for our child, then we can set up a kind of agreement where you're able to try those things out. And so we can set up AT centers in your school where you're allowing multiple children to try different things, and so you can kind of look and see what you're wanting. And yeah, we can definitely work something like that out.
Okay, cool. And even in different characters, like Ascension.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then y'all would come to the school? or-
Yes, we would come to school, demonstrate the device, and make sure, you know, whoever, was gonna be working with the clients were trained and knew kind of how to operate it. And then of course, we're available for, you know, if there's any technical difficulties or any issues with it, then we're kind of ongoingly available to help with those different things as well.
And then it could be like locked up at the school, or y'all take it with y'all? Is it like
Yeah.
a one-day trial?
No, so like a loan, it would be over, you know, it could be, you know, a several month, you know, period, just depending on how long we wanted it. So we typically start at 35-day loans, if it's a corporate agreement, we can definitely, or, you know, we're kind of like using y'all as an AT center where we're kind of getting people in there as well, then we can kind of set up a personalized kind of agreement. But yeah, it would be, we would have all those terms laid out, but typically if it's like for a school, then we would want it to stay at the school and locked in. And so, you know, you'd be responsible for maintaining, you know, the device, and it wouldn't be able to go home. But if you, for example, you had a client that it was working really well for them, and you wanted to make sure they had it at home, then you could refer that client to us, and then we could help them gain access to it at home and help with some of those financial maybe obstacles. We have a few financial programs that might be able to help them access those items at home as well.
What about like feeding equipment like the OB or the liftware utensils? Are you guys loaning those out as well, or not so much because it's feeding?
Yeah, so we actually don't loan out hygiene devices, devices that you have to use to clean yourself or have to eat with. Those are just demo only. They're either demo or acquisition. You don't actually loan those out.
Although it might be possible, and we can talk about this, like if you're using it more like at your clinic where it's not necessarily, you're wanting it just more to show someone versus like having them use it, that might be an option. Because that's typically, we usually do it with non-food items to kind of demonstrate versus like, we don't have someone kind of sitting there and getting food. So that might be an option, but if you're just wanting to kind of show, this is how it works, and, you know, trying it out, but not actually eating from it, that could definitely be an option as well.
Right.
Anybody have any other questions?
While we're waiting for questions, just a quick reminder to put your email in the chat, and then we can get you the documentation for attendance.
And we'll also be able to use your email. We are going to be sharing it with LATAN so that they can send you all of their resources for that they have, that they'll be handing out to the people who are present today. Any other questions from anybody?
None on the chat.
I love this info.
And, all right, well,
And it was before.
we're going to go ahead.
So it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
I've been here, and it's just.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Really excited to see such a great presence with everybody online. We had 20 people online, so just letting the people at LATAN know. So it was a really great turnout. So really hope to get to see everybody in person soon. So we're going to continue doing the virtual option as well as the in-person options too. Okay. Everybody have a great.
Don't forget to check out our Red Stick OT Facebook page. That's our South Central District's Facebook page, where Jen and I kind of keep you guys updated on South Central specific LOTA stuff. Also, LOTA sends out our newsletter and a lot of really great opportunities and networking, mentorship, CEUs. You know, being a member is really important. So just be on the lookout for a lot of that stuff.
Great. All right. Everybody have a great night.
Thanks so much, Jen.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.